Hey, what is going on, everybody? I am here to give you yet another Movie Monday review. Yeah, I'm here to give you another video about that, and yeah, this is going to be a big week for YouTube because I'm actually going to be giving you not one, not two, but three movie reviews this week. I'm actually going to be giving you three movie reviews. I figured it would be a lot of fun to do, so I'm going to do just that. I'm going to give you three movie reviews this week. I haven't decided when in the week. It's obviously today, but either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, you're going to get the other two. I just haven't decided the dates yet. I actually have to take this. Hold on one second. Hello? Hi. Okay. Well, I'm busy doing something right now, so I'll come over when I'm finished. Alright. Bye. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna give you. I kind of was a buzzkill a little bit. Yeah, I was legit actually. So I knew he would call me though in this video. I should have probably, But anyhow, I'm gonna be giving you three. Let me just show you three movie reviews this week. And actually, for the next couple of weeks on Movie Monday, I'm actually going to be giving you Christmas-related movies. And I figured if I'm going to be doing Christmas-related movie reviews, why not do it in front of a Christmas tree? As you can see, I mean, you probably can't see because of the frickin' sun. But yeah, that's kind of how it is, and I'm not really as close to it as I want to be, but at least I'm still in front of the Christmas tree. So, let's kick some ass. As you can tell from the title, it's called I Am Santa Claus. And I don't know exactly when the movie came out, but I looked it up, and it says it came out sometime actually this year in 2014. I'm not sure when, but yeah, I just know it came out sometime this year in 2014. You know what? I actually forgot. I actually had the guys' names written down, and I left them in my room. I'm gonna go get them. Just don't turn the video off. We go unedited on YouTube, by the way. I just went down to get that. And I'm sorry if you can't... Let me see if I can close the curtain. That would probably help. Oh, that helps a lot. That helps a lot. So yeah, this is mainly not really a movie. I thought this was going to be a movie. It's more of a documentary. But it's still a movie. A movie's a movie. I actually was kind of pissed it wasn't a real movie just for the fact. I mean, I like documentaries. This is a good documentary, but I actually kind of wanted this to be a real movie. It kind of would have been cool, but it wasn't the case. And yeah, I'm just gonna give you the review of it. So everybody knows they have Santa Clauses that are like in the mall. You see them outside of Walmart shaking like a bell. You know, you see Santa Clauses everywhere. You know, those type of Santa Clauses that claim they just work for Santa. This time, and they actually show what they do when they're not doing that, though, you know, because obviously that's just a part-time job. Yeah, obviously that doesn't last full-time a year, because no one really wants to see Santa Claus in, like, the middle of fucking July. I mean, who really wants to see that? This was solid movie. And we meet this guy, Russell Spice. And he tells you that we're not always, you know, Santa, because they would ask him, the little kids, what do they think Santa does? And he's like, he doesn't do anything. He just works and makes the toys. Well, has the elves make the toys. He doesn't really do anything but that. He just delivers us toys. They tell him to describe Santa. So this shows what they do. This shows what they do outside of all of that. And I'm gonna give you what my thoughts. This is gonna be a lot of jumping around because it's like they did like 5 different Santas that were like outside the real world, like what they showed in the real world. So and they jumped around like from this guy, then to this guy, then to this guy, then to this guy. So I'm going to do the best I can to make sure I keep you guys in tune, but I'm going to be jumping around a lot because that's really what this movie was. So let's get right into it. So it starts off, it showed this guy, Russell Spice, who is really the main character. It shows him the most, I think, out of everybody, because it showed him in the beginning and then him in the end. And we find out that he's living off Social Security, so really he doesn't really have a job necessarily. I mean, he doesn't have his own house. He lives in like the basement, I think they said, of his daughter's house. I forget his daughter's name. And he's collecting like he collects cans to make money. He's just trying to make money any way he can. It's kind of sad actually. That Santa Claus, that's what you think of Santa Claus does. But he says he does like being Santa Claus. It's a big it's important to the kids. And he says he loves being Santa Claus. They all say that throughout this movie. They all pretty much say that they love being Santa Claus because it feels good to touch, to be like an important person to people's lives. They even talk about too how other people that no one would, because they look like bums pretty much. Like I'll get into that. They pretty much look like bums. They look like they don't look like creeps, but they look like some people you wouldn't want to hang out with. And this isn't any disrespect. I mean, they even said this in the documentary. So they look like people you wouldn't really want to hang out with. They didn't really want to do that. They didn't really want to hang out. They look like people you want to hang out with. And then once they they got the Santa Claus look, everybody wanted to hang out with them. Everybody, wanted to talk to them. Everybody wanted to sit on their laps. Once they turned into Santa Claus, that's what they wanted to be. And then we meet this guy, Jim, who is posing. What the fuck? The sun decides to fucking brighten up. Fuck you, son. I'm just gonna put the laptop like this. Why the fuck did the sun decide to do that? I don't know. Anyhow, let me see if it actually is better. Okay, the sun's being good now. Switching topics. Back to the topic. So we meet this guy Jim, and he poses fucking sun. I'm just gonna leave it on my lap. So yeah, he poses he's like posing for like a magazine. He's like a male model pretty much, and he actually has a boner when he has this. I mean, you could clearly see it. I wasn't looking down there or anything. I mean, I guess it was okay. I just don't really care to see an old guy stripped down to his underwear, and pose. So it's just kind of not really my thing. I'd rather see like a hot girl do it. Like somebody like Maggie from The Walking Dead. That would be nice. Maybe somebody like trying to think who else. That chick from Ridiculousness. I'd like to see her. I'm not gonna talk about who I want to see naked. I mean, that's just weird. They probably would watch this video and be like, "Wow." Not Andrea from The Walking Dead, though. I mean, maybe she'd look nice, but I just think about how much of a bitch she is, and fucking tear her up. But I'm not here to talk about The Walking Dead. I'm talking about this movie. So anyhow, he's doing that. We find out more about this guy later, and then I think it jumps to this guy named... Who did it jump to next? Actually, I don't even... Oh, it jumped to this guy who used to be named Frank, but he actually changed his name to Santa Claus. So there actually is a Santa Claus. There actually is a Santa Claus in real life. Santa does exist. Technically, if you look at it that way. Because somebody changed their name to Santa Claus. I don't know what his middle name is, but technically Santa Claus does exist. And yeah, he changed his name to Santa Claus, and like I said, I talked about how no one would want to hang out with him. He pretty much looked like a homeless guy on the street. He even said, well, he implied it, because he just looked like a thug. And he also thinks that he likes being the Santa Claus character better because he felt like Frank was kind of an asshole. He always treated people like crap. Well, he didn't treat people like crap, but he felt like that he always argued with people. And he likes being Santa Claus better because it's more peaceful. And he actually had to get his driver's license changed. And he likes talking to people too because now if you look like Santa Claus, you can pretty much talk to whoever you want because it doesn't look creepy. Like you ask your kids they'll ask your kids being good this year. Like it's not creepy at all because it's just not. And then yeah, so it talks about all the people that become Santa Claus, and it even shows like a Santa Claus convention. And then we get to the person that actually ended up becoming Santa Claus, and that's Mick Foley. They talked about how he was this wrestler in a company called the WWE. It's a wrestling company and it stands for World Wrestling Entertainment. If you watch my videos on the Wrestling Fortune 44 channel, I'm pretty much a big WWE fan. I really try not to talk about the WWE on this channel because it's supposed to be a non-wrestling channel. But since the fucking movie's bringing it up, I really don't have a choice here. Because a bunch of wrestlers came up and talked about how he loved Christmas. And he was like this evil guy. This statistic guy that would take all these bumps. And that means like if you take like a big... you'll have to like go through like a table. You have to like fall off a cell. It even happens like if you get planted with a spine buster. Stuff like that. If I can't really explain to you, it's like a landing in the match, like when you land on the ground. But it isn't like anything. I don't know. I'm not gonna explain it because it will peak forever. And it's pretty you can look it up online too. Anyhow, he would take all these bumps. He was crazy. He was sadistic. But when he was on the road, he was all fun-loving. He loves Christmas. He loves Santa Claus. He likes going to Santa's Village in New Hampshire. He loves, he has like his own Christmas room. I think he might, he has his own Christmas room at his house. And he still has, what else? He even talked to, he even showed like his Christmas room. He has Christmas shirts. And, he just pretty much loves Christmas. Jerry the King Lawler, a wrestler. Blue Meanie, a wrestler. And Tommy Dreamer, another wrestler. If you've watched Impractical Jokers and you don't watch wrestling, but you watch that show, they do a skit with Tommy Dreamer. So if you don't know who Tommy Dreamer is, then go watch Impractical Jokers, which is a fucking hilarious show. They pretty much talk about how he loved Christmas. If you went on the road with him, he loved listening to Christmas music even when it wasn't Christmas time. Mick Foley loves Santa Claus too. He loves Christmas. And I think that's just awesome, and he said he wanted to be Santa Claus, and then they kind of cut away from him. It doesn't really show him a lot in this movie because Mick Foley was like the producer of the movie. So I think he was kind of making the movie more, kind of. I forget who it went to next. It went back to Russell for a little bit and talked about how he applied for, how people want him to like sign up for Medicaid because he got like a birthday card that wanted him to sign up for Medicaid. He was pretty pissed about that. Talks about his wife and how he banged her and got her pregnant. And he had to go tell her father about that. And when they were just showing the story, he was showing like a cartoon version of it with him dressed up as Santa Claus. And this was like the day of St. Patrick's Day. And he's pretty much going to drink all night because it's his birthday. The father comes out and we find out that the father said, "Yay, I'm a grandpa." And now Russell ended up having to pay for her senior year of college and tuition. and they ended up being married 25 years. I don't know if they still are married, but they didn't really. I don't think they are because we never saw his wife in this, unless his wife didn't want to be in this. But I'm assuming they're not married anymore. Something happened, and he raises his kid, which I don't. Actually, we did see his daughter. Actually, I think the daughter. We did see his daughter for like 1 second. But yeah. Then the next day, I know this is kind of jumping ahead, but this is all in the one thing. He gets up the next day. I think he's having pretty much a hangover because he drank a lot. He actually has his cake and talks about how he hasn't had like birthday party like that in 2 decades. Though he doesn't usually have a birthday party because it's really not that big of a deal anymore, but it's once in a while nice to have a birthday party. But in this case, my family, if it's your fucking birthday, they're gonna make sure you have a fucking birthday party. They're gonna make sure you celebrate it. It doesn't matter. Like simple birthday cake will just turn into a fucking party. I mean, we're not like alcoholic party animals. We're just a very close family. I mean, my mom's side of the family does that more. Not my dad's side as much. We just have simple cake and ice cream. Go back. One story I want to mention is one time, actually I'm not going to mention that story right now. What else happened after this? Oh, well, before that, Jim, the person that was that male model, I guess that's something that old ladies can look at and be like, ooh, this is nice. But they can't really date him, and you're going to find out why in a second. We find out, though, that this guy owns an antique shop, but I think he's more of a dealer, though. He sells antiques. And we find out that about a story that how he touched people's heart, and it's nice to be a nice influence, and he kind of started tearing up. He's a very emotional guy. He tears up a lot, which is nice. We find out he's in a relationship with a guy named Alex. So he's gay. It was actually a surprise. Because Alex can be a girl's name, so I was thinking this was his wife or something. But no, he is actually gay, and he lives in, I think, New York. They're not really close together. They're in a long-term relationship. Alex lives in Denver, Colorado. I think that's where Denver is. I'm not really good at geography. And they can't really see each other a lot. They just started talking on Facebook, for a couple years, and then just started recently talking on the phone, and he's not really a big phone talker, but when he talks to Alex on the phone like 10 times a day, it's ridiculous. And he says that he misses him. He never gets to see him. He doesn't get to see him for Christmas, so, they're in a relationship. I'm actually happy for him. It seems like he's happy, and as long as he's happy, I guess I'm happy. I mean, I guess I'm really not, but I barely know the guy, so I might never even see this guy again. It's more likely of a chance I'm going to see the only guy I'm really going to see in this movie is probably going to be Mick Foley. I'll probably see him again somewhere, somehow, live, on when I'm watching wrestling. It's just the truth. And then, trying to find out what happened next. I think we find out. Let me go through my notes and make sure that I'm not. Sorry you had to see that orange. Did we find out anything about Santa Claus Frank? We find out that he fixes fire, like the fire faucets. Like if a fire goes off and then I forget what it's called, but the faucet, like it's not a faucet, but the like when the water comes down when there's a fire. I forget what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. And he does that, but he doesn't really happy doing that because he always gets frustrated when he does that. He'd rather be Santa Claus, and he just gets frustrated. Which I don't blame him. That's probably is a pretty frustrating job. And Bob says he's happy being Santa. The first thing, is his family and friends, but being Santa is the next thing. And then they go to, like, church. You go to church, and instead of singing Jingle Bells, they sing, like, Jesus, Son, Jesus, God, Son, like they sing, like, a church song with, like, the tone of the the Jingle Bells theme song, which I thought actually was pretty good. I'm not reading this on my notes. I'm just going off memory. And then Mick Foley is getting fitted for a Santa outfit. And we find out that he would have to like bleach his hair, and he doesn't really want to do that because it takes a while, so he's just going to wear a wig, and he has to grow out his beard. And later on, I'm just going to mention this now because it's fresh in my mind, he goes to like a Santa Claus expert that is going to teach him how to be Santa Claus, and we find out that how he ended up happening that there was this kid that had like this like demonic face, and his favorite wrestler was Mankind, because that's what Mick Foley had, like 4 characters. I'm not gonna like go into it, but his favorite wrestler was Mankind, and he actually had him take a picture with him like he was Santa Claus, and he realizes he wanted to be Santa Claus, so he's gonna be Santa Claus. And there's like a bunch of stuff you have to do if you're gonna be Santa Claus. Like you can't, I know obviously you can't eat food that's gonna cause gas. They said like I just did gas right there. You can't you have to tell, when people ask you if you're Santa Claus, you have to tell them whether or not you are. You have to tell them that you are. When they ask you what you want for Christmas, you have to listen. You have to grow out the beard. You have to trim your nose hairs because you know it's just a bunch of stuff like that, which I thought was good stuff. So then I'm trying to remember what happens next. I think what happens next is we find out that Bob is also a music artist. He's like the singer, and he has a friend that is the musician. I didn't catch the friend's name. It did pop up, but I didn't care enough to read it, and I didn't care enough to go back. But he's like a musician. He makes CDs that don't really sell that well. You know, they sell okay. So then Jim, I know this is like getting ahead of myself. Well, Jim's not really sure if he wants to be Santa Claus because they've heard of Santa Clauses that are atheists, which is like people that don't believe in anything. Like they're not Jewish, they're not Christian or Catholic like I am. Atheists just despise religion. They don't believe in heaven. They don't believe in hell. They don't believe in any of that stuff. I guess they say that our religion, my religion, like the religion that I have is like the most uncoolest one ever. It's just kind of strange. I guess I'm not really gonna bash them for it, but they shouldn't really bash out. I don't really bash any other religion, but some people that are atheists completely trash my religion, and it's just my religion. It's what I believe in. I'm not pro Catholic. I don't go to church every week. I don't believe in certain things. I mean, I'm just kind of finding out more stuff about my religion. Like I thought for the longest time that the devil, or like the leader of hell, was the God's brother. But we find out. But I didn't read the Bible. I didn't do any of that. But I am Catholic. I am But I do believe in heaven. I do believe in hell. I do believe you go to that certain place. I think people utilize it though more for like a reward purpose. Like, oh, I better do good now because then I'll go to heaven. They don't really do the good thing for the right reason, and they don't really, they're not really doing right from wrong because it's right or wrong. They're doing it because they're afraid to go to hell and they're afraid to go to heaven. Like, I'm gonna say this: I'm not that afraid to go to hell, because if I do the wrong thing, I do the wrong thing. It's just, I probably shouldn't say that, but it's just how it is. And yeah, like another thing too is I don't believe in like that being gay is a sin, because it's who you are. Like you can't change. Pretty much our religion's asking us to change who we are. Like you can't change the fact that you're gay. You can't do that. It's like asking someone to fucking not. No, I know this isn't racist. That's like that's like asking someone like to not be black. This isn't racist either. I'm just saying, like, there's racist people that don't like blacks, and it's like asking them not to be black. Technically, you can help because Michael Jackson went white, but Um, you know, that's who they are, you know. I mean, even if you change yourself to be white, you're still black on the inside. So, yeah, I don't really get that. But let's get back to the movie. Um, I don't even know what the hell brought that up. Oh, because I was talking, yeah, but he's Catholic. That's why I said that. He's Catholic. And I was talking about too how there's some atheist Santa Claus, all that stuff. And they even say that Santa Claus makes mistakes. Santa Claus isn't the most perfect person in the world. He's made mistakes along the way, so that's a good point. And we find this guy, Rob, who's like the, Fingley, I think his name was. I forget, like, his last name. And we find out that, he's like the president of, like, the Santa Claus organization, like, the brings all the, like, the mall Santa Clauses. Um, and he actually find out that he runs a bar. Well, he goes to a bar, and he runs like a dance club. And we find out that his brother was gay, and everybody hated him for it. He didn't have confidence in himself to really be gay. Um, he didn't have any confidence in himself that he was gay. He really didn't. No one, his father and mother never, and his like brothers and sisters, like all his family, just resented him, neglected him, and they hated him, and they never really talked to him. He was like the closest person he had, and when he passed away, he was devastated. So now what he does is he's like I guess you could say like not a psychiatrist, a therapist, and he gives confidence to people that are too afraid to be gay or anti-gender, I think they call it. I forget what it's called, but when you like both guys and girls, comment down below what that's called, because I honestly forget what that is. I know they said it in, I think it's sex. I forget what it's called, but yeah, they talked about that. I'm kind of against that because I think you need to kind of make your decision what you like. I understand still going through the stages of like puberty, but if you like both, it's kind of you need to kind of make a decision of what you like. I mean that's kind of saying you don't know how to make a decision. Like maybe just like I could understand it like if you're like 15 because you're still going through what you like. I don't know. Let's just switch that topic up real quick. Anyhow, yeah, so that's what he does, and I think he brings the confidence in him. So then we find out that Jim goes to see Alex, and Alex, I'm only gonna say, but he seems like a fine guy. He seems like a good person, and they look like they're happy together. So I'm not really gonna complain. I'm not gonna trash them. Like, if they weren't happy, I probably would say, "Why are you with this guy?" But they seem like they're happy together. Sometimes people are happy to get, with people people are happy. He's happy. But yeah, they show this montage of them going to the zoo and spending time together, and Alex is trying to transfer to move down to where Jim is, so that way they can be together all the time. I don't remember what he said his job was, but yeah, I think that was good stuff. So I thought that was good. I want to mention one thing. The Bob guy, he also, I forgot to mention that he's a real estate agent, and he takes pictures of the Easter Bunny. Which is actually pretty cool. That Santa Claus is taking pictures of the Easter Bunny. That's like a kid's dream right there. But anyhow, Mick Foley is at a Hall of Fame convention because he's going there to sign autographs and talk about wrestling. And he's talking to another wrestler, Roddy Piper, about him being Santa Claus and all that. I thought that was good stuff. Russell was looking for like a trailer because he's trying to find a house because he can't really afford a house, and he's trying to look and find one. He's selling his stuff, so he's selling some of his like stuff that he doesn't use anymore, to get money for it. And yeah, he was looking for trailers and gets an ice cream and stuff, all that. And he found out that his agent had like fired him or something, so he's trying to find a new agent so he can be like Santa Claus because it's gonna ruin him financially. If he can't be Santa Claus this time. I'm assuming he got a job about it because, he ended up later on in the movie going into a hotel and yeah, living off of like, he brings his stuff because since he feels homesick, he brings his stuff home, like from his house to the hotel, and he mainly eats like raviolis and stuff. We find out Bob, was it Bob? No, it's Frank. Frank, the Santa Claus, is a really good cook. He can make pulled pork inside of a ravioli. That actually sounds pretty good. I actually had pulled pork one time and it tasted mint, which just means fucking amazing. Well, it probably isn't what it means, but it was pretty fucking amazing. But it was in North Carolina, and I hear that pulled pork is, but it was fucking awesome though. Like I can't, if I go to North Carolina again, I'm definitely having that again. That was sick. I don't even know what the hell that was called. I actually am craving some right now, but I can't have any. Anyhow, yeah, he has his pulled pork. Yeah, and trying to think what else happened. Oh, yeah. So he can make, and he wants to like open a restaurant, and that would be like, if he gets to be Santa Claus while he has a restaurant, his life will pretty much be pretty amazing. Like he'll be happy. The only thing is though, is I think if he opens the restaurant, he's probably, unless he can find the time, but he'll probably have to give up being Santa Claus because he's not going to have as much time for it. That's the only flaw. So then Mick Foley goes to New Hampshire for the Santa Claus, Santa's the Santa thing they have there. What's it called? I don't. It's something that he loves to go to. That he takes his kids there all the time. That's the reason he said that he wanted to have other kids. So that way when his kids outgrew Santa's Village, that's what it's called. And if they ever outgrew that way he could still go there. So then he takes his Santa suit, gets dressed up as Santa, and then they play like Jingle Bells, but like just not the lyrics, but the music. And it just shows pretty much everyone being Santa. Bob, Jim, Mick Foley, Russell, everybody. And Mick Foley asked one of the kid what he wanted, and he said, "I want a round ball." He's like, "I'll make sure you get that." And he asked for two. One of the kid was crying when they were seeing, I think it was Jim. No, it was Russell. And one kid was asking Jim for like a furry animal, but he didn't know what that was. And he tried to call Alex, and he says he misses him to death. But the next time they can see him is like doing a roundhouse thing, which he ended up going to like a roundhouse strip club too one time. So then it was good stuff. Then since Christmas is almost over, they're upset that they have to give up this because they love being Santa. They love bringing happiness to the kids, and they can't really go out on Christmas Eve either because if they go out and like someone saw Santa, they'll pretty much yeah, pretty much what happens is they'll be like, "Why aren't you up in the sky or something? Why are you at my house?" So they can't go out. Mick Foley probably could go out though because he doesn't look like anybody else. But Mick Foley, I'm going to mention, was with his kids watching wrestling. And it's obviously himself. He was watching himself be Santa Claus and stuff like that. Him getting hit by the car, which I'm not even going to go into detail how bad that was. And he realizes this is like it's probably going to be the last year that his son, like his name is Huey, is going to like believe in Santa. So he wants to make this memorable. And Mick Foley tries to dress up as Santa, but he's like, "Dad, I know that's you." So I thought, okay, this is going to fail. But then like another guy comes out dressed as Santa, and this was like the real Santa Claus, and Mick Foley said this was like the happiest time if he's ever in his life. And he's never going to trade, he wouldn't trade anything to have that time. And it was pretty good stuff. Mick Foley was pretty happy to see that. And I thought that was good stuff. For his last year. Obviously, I don't know who that really was that was dressed up as Santa. I know they set that up, but I don't really know who it was. So then, yeah, they have to go home, but they're happy to go home because they get back to their normal lives, and they can't wait to be Santa Claus again next year. And then it says 364 days till Christmas. So throughout the times, it was counting down the days till Christmas, like 180, 99, all that stuff. So yeah, I thought that was good stuff. And then afterwards, it shows like it tells you what happened to the people afterwards. We find out that Russell did end up moving into a trailer in Michigan. We find out that Jim didn't get to go to that thing that he wanted to with Alex because he couldn't make it there, and they're still having trouble getting Alex to transfer his job, so they can't. His life is pretty much the same. Bob did end up getting a DVD, getting out a CD, and but the thing was he had to give away most of his copies because they didn't sell. I guess it didn't sell well. Like he gave away more than he sold. Frank, or now the Santa Claus, who changed his name, still does the same thing. He still he pretty much does the same thing. He's now full time fixing the water fixtures that come down when you know what I mean. And Mick Foley got inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, got a special visit from Santa Claus, and he continues to be Santa Claus. And Huey is like his elf, which happened before, because Huey could actually fit too into Mick Foley's pants, which is pretty funny. And that was it. I thought this was a good movie. It was a nice documentary to sit through. I definitely suggest you sit through it. Mick Foley obviously came out the most successful out of it because he went into the WWE Hall of Fame. Everyone else kind of... I mean, their lives were fine, but compared to Mick Foley's, their lives were shit. Except for... Actually, I'll say Alex's life is pretty successful. Except Bob's, because he did get a CD out there that didn't sell well, but at least he made a CD. But that's pretty much it. I definitely suggest you watch this if you want to get into the Christmas spirit. Maybe this wouldn't be the movie to do so. I didn't know it'd be a documentary, but I had started watching it, so... And, they hold cameras, too, so sometimes you would see what was, in, some people's point of view in the camera, so I thought this was good stuff. That's pretty much it, guys, though. I know I don't really like to talk... I think I talk more about wrestling. I got off topic a lot during this review, so I apologize. I talked about wrestling. I talked about... atheists, I got off topic a lot, but that's pretty much it, guys. I'll be back next week for a Movie Monday review. I actually don't, it will be another Christmas one. I'm not sure exactly which one it's going to be yet, if it's going to, I'll look for it, but I'll be back next week, and, till then, I hope you guys have a very memorable Christmas. So that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.